What up, people? It's AC/DC Rocks here. AC/DC Rocks 3. And today, we are going to be doing something different. Today is not a Sonic.exe game. We're going to be ranking the albums of Iron Maiden. Now, I'm going to go through every album, and we're going to do the ranking on a tier list. Anyway, let's start with the first album. Self-titled Iron Maiden. They did 2 albums with a different singer, with Paul Di'Anno. This band's only album was produced by Will Milo, whom Iron Maiden have since claimed lacked interest in the project, simply left them to produce most of the album themselves, which according to bassist Steve Harris, completed in just 13 days. Wow, only 13 days. The guitarists. This was only the studio album with the guitarist Dennis Stanton. Have been brought in as a last-minute placement, was dismissed due to musical differences after the band's European tour in support of Kiss. Suspicious were first raised during Iron Maiden's recording when Stanton added a wishbone-ash harmony to guitars and backup vocals with trending Queen to Phantom of the Opera, on which Harris and manager Rod Smallwood immediately disapproval and had removed. Yeah. Yeah, let's check the album here. Yeah, the best song on here is Phantom of the Opera. I mean, Paul's vocals, they're okay, but he just doesn't have that power and vibrato in this sort of music. I like the title track a lot. Yeah, this album is good. But that's the only thing that's Paul's vocals, and a lot of these songs, this album's good. I mean, Charlotte that's the worst song on here. Yeah, for the first album, it's pretty good. Now, where would I put Iron Maiden on this tier list? The first album. It's alright. I mean, this is a tough one for me. I'll put it at C tier right now. I'll put it on a high C tier. Okay. Alright, now we move on to Killers, which is the same thing with Paul Di'Anno. This is the last album with Paul Di'Anno. To feature 2 instrumental songs, only the album to feature 2 instrumental songs. It was written exclusively by Steve Harris, the bassist. Yeah, the other guitarist who left was replaced by Adrian Smith. Yeah, it was the first album with guitarist Adrian Smith, and their last with Paul Di'Anno, who was fired after problems with his stage performances due to alcohol and cocaine use. Killers was also the first Iron Maiden album recorded with producer Martin Birch, who went on to produce their next 8 albums, including Fear of the Dark, which I'll get to that one later. Yes, it's the same thing, but I think it's marginally worse. Yeah. Killers is marginally worse than Iron Maiden. I would put it at low C tier. Alright, now a particular guy named Bruce Dickinson joined the band. after Bruce joined, I feel like they just went off. They just reached their full potential. Number of the Beast, which I know don't let the lyrics go to your head. Like, don't please don't do that. It was the album to be feature obviously Bruce Dickinson first, the first album on vocals, and their last with drummer Cliff Burr, who was dismissed from Iron Maiden the same year during their tour. The Number of the Beast was clearly a commercially success and became the band's first album to reach the UK albums chart, reaching the top 40 in US Billboard 200. It was ranked number 1 for 2 weeks. The album singles Run to the Hills and The Number of the Beast, which is everyone knows that. All Iron Maiden classics on there. Hey, you got Children of the Damned. 22 Acacia Avenue. I love this track. The Number of the Beast. Where does that go? Easy S tier. The best Iron Maiden album. Alright, moving on. Peace of Mind. This album, drummer Cliff Burr ended his association with the band due to his personal and tour schedule problems and it was placed by the new drummer, Nico McBrain, previously of French band Trust, and as well as Pat Travis and Streetwalkers. Yep, Nico really added a new level to the band's sound. And it was like the first song, Where Eagles Dare. Everyone knows this one, right? Yeah. Peace of Mind. Where does it go? I know a lot of people would put it in A, but I'm going with S tier. It's a masterpiece. Alright, next. Power Slave. Whoa. Yes, the band back in full force. Like, one of the greatest album artworks of all time. Just look at that. Freaking look at that thing. This release contains a musical retelling by Samuel the Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. It was at 13 minutes. This is Iron Maiden's longest song for over 30 years until it was surpassed by Emperor of the Clouds of the Book of Souls. I'll get to that one later. Like Aces High, 2 Minutes to Midnight, yes. Power Slave, yes. Rhyme, yes. But this song, the instrumental song, is amazing. Power Slave, you're going up an S tier. I don't think we have any bands so far that's so many S tiers. 3 S tiers, okay. Alright, now, next. Somewhere in Time. Capitol Records, it was the band first guitar synthesizers, yes. They sound like power metal-y. It was a number of fully former songs written by guitarist Adrian Smith, who wrote both of the album's singles, Wasted Years and Stranger in a Strange Land. Yeah, this is see what he can really do. Adrian Smith and his solos on here are so freaking sick. Like, holy moly. This song's up banger song. Loneliness, Sea of Madness. Wow. I love this song right here. Somewhere in time, you're it's another S tier. And this is all my opinion, okay? Alright, next. Seventh son of a seventh son. Whoa, whoa! Seeing the length of the couplet structure of the title track. It's also the first Iron Maiden to feature keyboards after the band had introduced non-keyboard synth effects on their previous, somewhere. Seventh Son of a Seventh Son features several songs co-written by Bruce Dickinson, who states that the interest for the band has renewed during the album's production stages. It was Iron Maiden's last studio record to feature the Peace of Mind era lineup until 2000. Album Brave New World, with guitarists leading the band after he did it. Yeah, I'll get to that one. That's coming up. And it's actually my favorite on this. It's Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. It's going up. It's an easiest. Another S tier. Alright, next up, No Prayer for the Dying. Yeah, so this is where Adrian Smith left the band. The album departed from the keyboard and synthesizer staggered progressive rock direction of the band's two previous studio outlines. In favor of a more stripped down, straightforward style, recepting of the band's early material, which unshred and change of vocal style for Bruce Dickinson from the opera sound, the 80s, and a raspy way of singing. Believe in me, in addition, So he left the band because he did not like where this album was going to, and he got replaced by Janica, by this man right here, which is literally one of my favorite guitarists ever. God, this album is dicey. But in my opinion, I think it's really good. Tail Gunner, this song, it's okay. I mean, it's okay, in my opinion. Holy smoke! Holy smoke! Love this song. You have no prayer for the dying. I love that song. Public Enemy #1. That song's amazing. Obviously, the best song on here is Bring Your to Life.
Honey, it's getting close to midnight, and all the myths are still in town. Bring me a donut, bring me a donut, bring me a donut.
Some of the tracks that Fate's Warning, I mean, that song's okay. The Assassin, it's pretty good. Run Silent, I think that's not good song. Hooks in You, that's a really good track. Mother Russia, that tune is not good. So where would No Prayer for the Dying going? This one's stripped down for me, so I'm gonna have to put it in B tier, which I'm gonna piss loads of people off. I'm gonna tick loads of people off here, but it's B tier for me. So it's stripped down, so a little bit. Alright. However, gets more positive than Redeem with Fear of the Dark. Yeah, but this song is this album slept on. Bruce. It was the first album to be produced with bassist and band from member. Yeah, of course. And the last album to work on producer Martin Rich. It's speed. This is a speed medley song here. So good. Here it is. I love Bruce's vocals on this album. Which this album here, From Here to Eternity, is pretty much having love with motorcycles. Afraid to Shoot Strangers is easily one of my favorites on here. You're in Vietnam. Of course, Fear the Dark. Wasting Love. Judas Be My Guide is a great track. This album's a tricky one for me. I think I'm sticking this album in A tier. Yeah, it's a little strip up. So, alright. Next, the X Factor. Bruce Dickinson left the band and to pursue a solo career. And producer Martin Rich retired shortly after the release of their Fear of the Dark. This takes a darker tone than the band's first 9 releases. Blaze Bayley of Wolfsbane is in. And this album is trash. This oh my gosh, this album is bad. The cover art depicting Eddie undergoing under another loop was created, but what? The album was the last until Response critics only 2 stars, starring suffering from lack of powerful riffs, typical written songs. The X Factor was later. The album from Iron Maiden was a lackluster. Their day doesn't sound particularly bad. They don't sound inspired. They're just noticeable lack of energy. Yeah. Yeah. This album is very stripped back for me. Yeah, this song is not good. This album's not good. Man on the Edge is okay, but it's just not good. It's just bad. Sign of the Cross, it's not bad either, but it's not what I'm looking for when I'm listening to Iron Maiden. Standing alone in the wind and rain, feeling the fear that is growing, sensing the change. Adopted Rape. Blaze, this album, The X Factor, yeah, this is going into the bin. Yeah, it's just so bad. Virtual Evan, this is last with Blaze Bayley. And Serious to say, this album is even worse. The performance to the lyrics are absolutely embarrassing. And some of the songs are laughable and freaking cringe. Songwriting sucks. Oh my god, this sucks like heck. Critical Virtual 11 was mixed with negative reviews from Stephen Thomas. Commented on the surface, there's nothing terribly wrong with the record as it delivers all the crunching riffs and demonic horror based on their records. But the problem is that there's nothing memorable about riffs or songs. There's little visceral energy to the music or production as a result. sounds lifeless still, but mostly devoted fan. Yeah. Yes, Blazes just didn't fit the band. Future Ill is the chorus is freaking laughable.
What is real? Future real.
The only song that I like on here is Lightning Strikes Twice, which I only listen to it for the solos and stuff. The solos are freaking sick on that song. Dave and Janik's solos. Don't look into the eyes of the stranger. I only like that part where the guitars go. The angel and the gambler. 22 freaking chorus repeats. And that just gets boring. This Educated Fool, that's a boring track. Cosmic. I don't know who came up with that song title. The Klansman is not bad. It's not bad and not good. Yeah, this one is even worse. It's going into the bin too. All right, Brave New World next. Thankfully, Bruce came back. And Adrian Smith came back as well. They kept Yannick. So they turned into a 3-guitar band. Brave New World is literally it's the comeback album of the decade. They sound revitalized, they sound refreshed, they sound inspired again. And this is Bruce right here. Bruce in 2000, Adrian Smith there. Looking sick there, man. Songs The Wicker Man and Out on the Silent Planet were both released as singles. The promotion release of Wicker Man featured extra vocals, and of course, it was been a long time since we got a decent chorus. The notable songs written by Derek Riggs, who look at the album. Eddie in the Sky there. Well, it looks thick. And has a new world there. Interview, The Nomad, Dream of Mirrors, and The Mercenary were originally written for 1980's Virtual 11, and former vocalist Blake Bailey claimed to have provided some of the lyrics for Dream of Mirrors, but was not credited. According to Steve Harris, work has already begun on Blood Brothers during that period, but it was not completed at that time. Release appear on The Wicker, yes. Dedicated to attorney teams. Wow. Basically, return of Bruce Dickinson. Yeah, this one gets a lot of credit. 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. 4 out of 10 for. Alright. Let's go to here. Brave New World! Mercenary, The Fallen Angel. That's the first song to feature triple guitar solos on that song. The Thin Line Between Love and Hate. That song never gets played live, and I never seen it played live on their live videos. Out on the Side, it's a good song. Nomad. All of these songs are amazing. Let's rank this. Some Brave New World. Brave New World. We're gonna go back into S tier. Now, the most infamous album artwork of all time. Dance of Death. Alright, there's since the return of Bruce Dickinson. Yeah. Album features the band's fully acoustic track, Journeyman, as well as New Frontier, their only song co-written by drummer Nico McBrain, as well as Brave New World. Ground was working on a follow-up to 2000's Brave New World. This album was announced alongside a officially confirmed Dance of Death. Alright, Dance of Death. Another S tier for me. Yes. Alright, next. A Matter of Life and Death. Enter the US Billboard charts in the top 10. After a break following their hugely successful Fiesta dates in the US and Europe of Eddie rips off a world tour. What? After taking time off over Christmas, the songs were completed, began recording. My favorite on here is Different World. This song is freaking sick. Alright, A Matter of Life and Death. And it's an S tier again. Next album, it's The Final Frontier. This album is the 5th studio album. It was released in Germany, Sweden, and Austria, and Finland. It's the band's 3rd longest studio album. It's 1 hour and 15 minutes. It was the band's final album to be released through EMI Records, marking the end of their 30-year relationship. It is also the last album that uses a modified version of the band's logo. Well, not a concept album. Themes. Final Frontier is the first studio album in nearly 4 years. Production, Janet Garris confirmed BBC News. The band had already new material written and would head to Paris, France, to start composing and rehearsing the bulk of the new album. The bulk, according to Dickinson, we probably have the least amount of preparation we've ever had, which is because it's the longest and most complicated record of all of them. After taking some time off from Christmas, El Dorado, it won a Grammy Award for Best Metal Performance ever. Best Metal Performance. Critical reception. A lot of people would dislike this album, but for me, this album is so good.
Space, have lost without trace.
And my favorite, I think my favorite on here is Al Dorado. I belong. And I done now. Now. And the last one, When the Wind Blows. The song is actually, it's 11 minutes, but it's actually really good. Actually, I like this. Final Frontier. Final Frontier. This is a hard one for me. Mother of Mercy is kind of have it up and downs, but it's really good. So I'm gonna take a lot of people off here, but this is going in. Hold on. This is going in S tier. I know you guys say I'm crazy, but it's my own opinion, okay? This is one of my favorite heavy metal bands. Alright, now next, the Book of Souls. Book of Souls, here we go. 16th studio album. It was the band's first studio double album on a CD. It was their first studio double LP, being Fear of the Dark in 1992. Okay. It is also their longest album to date, reaching 92 minutes and 92 minutes. Holy moly. Freaking wow. Yeah, and this album is a freaking banger of an album. Holy moly. Holy moly, this album's sick. Critically and commercially successful pop. The album charts in 24 countries. Wow. During the band's their 5th UK #1, following 1982's Number of the Beast, 1987 Sun, 1992's Fear of the Dark, and in 2010's The Final Frontier. In the wow, #1, repeating the group's highest placement at #4 until it was surpassed. It was surpassed by 2021's Senjutsu. The Book of Souls marked the longest gap between studio releases and group's entire career. Written solely by Bruce Dickinson, two songs. Janet Ayers explains that This involved abandoning their previous approach of spending several weeks writing and rehearsing, which meant that they went to the studio with only outlines and finished writing the songs in the studio. Oh, interesting. So we were actually learning them, rehearsing them, and putting them all at once, according to the guitarist. According to Adrian Smith, the pressure this created was positive because it snaps you into action. Kerr stated that each member brought in approximately an hour of original music to the sessions. Shadows in the Valley, Death of Glory, Speed of Light, and Eternity Should Fail were the first songs written for the album, the last of which, according to Dickinson, was originally written for a potential solo album and eventually reworked as the Mid-Drake project. Ooh. Then the features the band's first selection use of drop D tuning. Smith and freaking Dave, oh my god. Book of Souls, okay. The Book of Souls, it's going into another death tier. Alright, then that leads us to the last album, Senjutsu. This was recorded in early 2019 and released September 3rd, 2021. Senjutsu is the first studio album in nearly 6 years, although it hasn't ever been put on hold for well over 2 years. Following 2013's Book of Souls, marking the longest gap between two Iron Maiden studio albums. This is also their second studio double album, and their first studio album since 1984's Power Slave to have no songwriting contributes from guitarist Dave Murray in any way, as well as the first since Virtual 11 to feature multiple songs written by bassist Steve Harris alone. The name of the album is regarded. It received positive response from most fans and music critics, eventually reaching the top of the best-selling list from 27 countries. Holy moly. Comparison Europe Top 200, US debate, and the highest in US number 3. Holy moly. Top 3 best-selling albums in the base bestsellers in the US at that time. Artwork at the original logo type. So Senjutsu. Look at that Eddie in a freaking battle suit. Presents Eddie dressed up as a Samar holding a katana. Last album. S tier or B tier? Or A tier? Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with S tier. Senjutsu going up S tier. Alright guys, that is it. The definitive ranking of Iron Maiden's tier list. So what do you think, guys? What do you think of my tier list? Let me know down in the comments below. And send me yours. Send me yours in the comments, maybe. Ow!